it is out of control. The coronavirus is out of control in Ontario. More specifically, the fear porn from the mainstream media associated with the coronavirus is out of control. It's increasing. There's new variants of fear porn, and we must be even more afraid than you were yesterday. So the most recent thing is there's a 20% increase in hospitalizations compared to the wave 2, and this means we're all going to die. In fact, we're all already dead. If you're listening to this, stop listening because you're dead. Now, this is a classic misuse of statistics. If you got a good mark in data management, or you're really good at your statistics class in university like I was, I probably don't need to explain it to you, but if I did your homework in high school, let's refresh, okay? Stats can be misleading. So, the fact that there's an increase of 20% in hospitalizations sounds terrible. If it was from 2017 to 2018, we have to say, what the hell is going on here? However, the hospitals are like nowhere near capacity. So if they're at like 30% full capacity, well, if there's an increase of 20%, okay, well, they're 36% of capacity. Still fine, okay? Even easier number. Like, okay, let's say there's one murder in Toronto in 2017, and then in 2018, there's a 300% increase. Well, that's not big because it was just 3 more murders, right? Same thing. Oh, there was 50 murders in, there's 500 murders in Toronto. Well, increase of 3, right? That's a 0. Whatever percent increase, right? It's just an increase of 3. But the way you can misuse statistics, right? You can either say, oh, hospitalizations are up by an extra 50 beds per hospital, or an extra probably like 25 beds per hospital, when hospital capacity, let's say, is like 700 beds, and you go, still no newer capacity, people understand that. But if you call it a 20% increase, right, you can fear porn your way, and then you get a job at the CBC, and then I have to make videos about why you're so crazy. So this is what's happening in Ontario now, right? We're putting pressure on Doug Ford because the real danger to everyone's life is civil liberties. There's still 1, maybe 2 civil liberties left in Ontario. We must find them and eradicate them, or else we're all going to die. In fact, we're all already dead. And if you're listening to this, you're already dead of coronavirus. You're dead, so stop listening and give all your money to Justin Trudeau and the carbon tax because you're dead. Okay. Can we take a deep breath and sort of acknowledge that a few things? Yes, the coronavirus is a real thing. No, it is not the most deadly. It is not the bubonic plague. Yes, it is pretty infectious. It's more infectious than, the common cold. Okay. We get this. This is a respiratory disease that has a higher fatality rate in the elderly. It's not 90%. It's around 20% in people 80 and over. However, we've already inoculated all the old people. The nursing homes are inoculated. They have the vaccine. So the high-risk population has been inoculated. And as we see, in warm weather, there tends to be better outcomes. So if you want to keep everyone inside during the nice weather, that's probably going to be counter-effective. Look at Texas. They have just recently opened up. Let everyone back outside. The rates are going down. Turns out sunlight is good for you. Turns out stress and lack of civil liberties is bad for you. Okay? So, let's recap. There's an increase in the amount of people going into hospitals right now, and it looks like the new variants are probably worse than the standard coronavirus. Okay. However, the most vulnerable part of our population has been inoculated, and I think any reasonable person, so if you're listening to the CBC every day, you don't count, you're not a reasonable person. If you work for the CBC, you know how I feel about you, okay? What we have now is an opportunity, what it looks like, to defeat the coronavirus with some freedom. Let everyone outside, let them breathe some fresh air. Texas has taken away the lockdowns, and as the lockdown, see the curve, civil liberties like this, coronavirus cases like this. That's what we learned. Turns out the lockdowns are not scientific, and I understood them at the beginning. In the first month, there's a pandemic. We don't know what to do, so everyone locked down because it makes sense that the more you're around people, the more you could spread. However, the more we learn about this virus, looks like it was started in a lab in Wuhan. Who would have thought that the Wuhan virology lab would leak a virus? Now, what this means is, if it was created in a lab, this would explain why it is so poorly spread outside in sunlight, because it would have been evolved and created inside a lab where it is not sunlight, which is why it's so good at spreading indoors. So forcing everyone indoors to a virus that's designed to spread indoors might not be wise. Okay, so this is where we are. The amount of fear porn is going to get people killed. Right? The stress is up. There's people wearing 7 different masks. Every time a doctor sneezes, right, and says, oh, this could be really bad, right? They're put onto the mainstream media, front page, doctor whatever says, this is terrible. Every time a doctor says, well, okay, let's be reasonable here. You're actually misusing some data. They're, a white supremacist. My name is like Akbar Muhammad, whatever, and I'm from Nigeria, and I'm black. He's a white supremacist, but you're Islamophobic. No, I'm a practicing Muslim, and I'm literally black. I'm just a medical doctor saying that, you're misreading statistics. White supremacy, right? Doctor, White Emic White says we're all going to die of coronavirus. He's a doctor in like critical justice at like social justice university taught by Jessica Yanev, right? Push him to the front. He is now on CBC giving advice to everyone. I think we all can agree. It's time to go outside. Now, if you want to sort of say everyone we're going to take the lockdowns away, and just be reasonable. When you're outside, make sure to be, like 3 to 6 feet apart. Don't go licking strangers. Don't lick a stranger. Don't lick the homeless. All right, we can all abide by these rules. All right, if you're going inside to a store, just wear a mask briefly, then go back inside. If you just let people be reasonable and free, if you sort of cut down the free point, because we do know stress leads to higher chances of conducting illnesses. This illness is designed to spread indoors. Let everyone go outside and give them back their civil liberties, and maybe less people will die, right? Texas and Florida, letting people outside, doing great. Ontario's kept everyone inside forever. We must always be locked down. Turns out we're doing pretty poorly. Is there a correlation here? Everyone thinks so. So, subscribe to the National Telegraph, click the like button, the YouTube button, click the thing, follow the news here so you don't die of stress-induced porn, unless you want to listen to the CBC, in which case you're already dead of the coronavirus. So everyone have a great day, even though you're already dead, and everyone you know is dead, and unless you give up all your civil liberties, you'll be double dead. Should that get this through the censors on the big tech company? Like and subscribe.